Morning everyone, this is Aaron from Weekends with the Camper. I'm here to talk to you today about several safety devices and other options that you should probably look into for your camper, RV, motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, whatever you call it, your home on wheels. So the first thing I recommend, and that's what I did with my travel trailer and with my fifth wheel, is I went out and bought a surge protector. The first one for my travel trailer was just an inexpensive $60 Comco analyzer type deal. I thought it was more of a surge protector, but I'm starting to find out that it wasn't. So I went out and did my research for my fifth wheel, which is quite a bit bigger and more expensive, and I did my review, or did my looks and checks and balances on it all, and found something that I really liked, and that is the Hue Autoformer surge protector. This thing monitors the power coming in upstream from me, for spikes, low voltage, high voltage, anything along those lines, and then it also has a surge protector built into it. So if something would happen upstream of me, especially in a campground where our summers we can see 110 degrees and 90% humidity sometimes, where there's a lot of air conditioners kicking on, which could send a surge or a low voltage system, to your camper. Along with this, it also gives me Bluetooth connectivity to my phone, so I can monitor the voltage and see what I'm actually consuming for power wise, for amperage wise, live at any time I'm near it, within Bluetooth range. That's the number one thing I would recommend you to get, because there are a lot of electronics in these newer campers. Let's just take the residential refrigerator I have in my camper. It's a Samsung 2-door with a drawer, and just to replace that alone is $2,000. Spending $300 to protect that, and even if I had to spend $300 4 more times, it's still cheaper than replacing that refrigerator once. I believe these guys do have a warranty. If they would burn up due to a surge, you can send the unit in and get it repaired. And here's what this item looks like. So this is the Watchdog that I have on my camper, and if you can see, my hand doesn't quite cover it. So it's big. I don't have real small hands, but it's a big unit. And what you do is you first shut your power off. In here, you shut your 2 main breakers off for your 50 amp. You plug this in, and then you turn your breaker on, and it'll do a check, see if you're wired correctly, if the voltage is correctly, all that. And then once that comes out okay, you shut the power off again, and you plug in your big 50 amp plug-in, and then turn it all back on and let it reset. It'll do the check again, and from there on you can sync it up with your phone, and you can see what it does, or what your camper's using at any given time. I've seen upwards of close to 20 amps on a line and 15 on another, because we are running, it is April yet, so we've had some cold nights and cool nights. So we've had the fireplace running inside, we've had little space heaters, and then even just the water heater is 110 heater also, so that'll draw some power. But I will buy this unit 10 times before I would make up the cost of replacing that refrigerator once. Now the second thing you should probably look at getting to protect your camper is a water pressure regulator. my honest opinion, I'm pretty sure these will handle regular city water pressure, but I don't want to go to sleep at night and have one of the plastic tubes burst or something like that in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping and dump a couple 100 gallons of water in your camper or underneath one of the crawl spaces. You're not going to realize it until it's almost too late. I mean, I guess some of the water pressures can see up to over 110, 120. Even I've heard of some places pushing 150 and almost 200 psi. That's a lot of pressure, especially when you got a lot of flow capable behind it. It's not as bad as air, but when you blow a water line and you got that much pressure coming out of it, it's a lot of gallons per minute. If you think about it, a 3/4 hose, you could probably get, I don't know, probably a good 40, 50, 60 gallons a minute. And you do that and you're asleep and it busts inside your camper. You get, let's just do 30 gallons a minute, and you let it sit for an hour before you realize it. I mean, 30 gallons times 60 minutes, that's, 1,800 gallons of water? It's a lot of water in your camper that you got to flush out, fish out, dry out, and hope it doesn't rot anything out. You could possibly do a lot of damage doing that, because in order to dry the whole thing out, you need to pull all the cabinets apart and the flooring apart and get underneath everything. That's a lot of time, that's a lot of money, and a lot of wasted, all over a $30, $40 regulator. Now, the one I have is preset at 40 psi, I believe. And like I said, it's preset at like 40, maybe 50 to psi. You can pick these up just about anywhere. They do have some that are a little more expensive, where you can adjust the pressure. Maybe you want it at 60 psi or 70 psi. Now, I have noticed with this one, it does drop my flow rate down. Taking a shower, you notice the pressure and the flow rate is a little lower, so I might look to see if there's something else out there. If you know of anything out there that does regulate the pressure but doesn't really slow down your water flow, please drop me a line and let me know so I can possibly get it and use it for my own. This is just what I had from my previous camper, and I noticed it then, and I'm still noticing it now, that the flow rate is lower. I mean, the first time you take a shower with or without it, you'll notice it. So, if you know of a better one, please let me drop me a line, leave a comment, and I will share it with everybody else. So let's go on to the next thing. Next thing I recommend you get for your camper is some sort of filter system for the water. Whether you use it just to wash dishes, just take showers, or if you really are going to use it for some sort of drinking water, it's best to filter the water out. You don't want any contaminants, you don't want any solids, rust in pipes, dirt, anything like that, if you can help it, to get into your camper water system. A lot of the pipes are smaller, so they could plug up quick and easy. So when we purchased our first one, our travel trailer, we did buy one of the Walmart style filters, and I even bought it with this one again just because I'm using it as a pre-filter. So yeah, it's just a Camco RV water filter. I know you can pick these up at Walmart, Amazon. I got the bigger one. This one I'm using as a pre-filter. just to help prevent anything from coming from into our camper. Our camper also has its own standalone inside my compartment here, and so I'm kind of using the one outside as a pre-filter and this one as the factory one. I'm still considering looking at doing maybe even a little more, because we don't want to haul water from home all the time. I mean, we don't use this for drinking water yet, but I may spend a couple $100s and get a good filter system to be able to use it as drinking water, especially if we were starting to spend more and more time here. We're not going to want to run into town to go buy water all the time or haul water from home. Now that we got the water and the electricity more or less covered for your RV system, there's one other thing that a lot of people don't think of when they buy a camper. That is security. I'm not talking going out and spending thousands of dollars and putting cameras on your camper or alarm system. I'm just talking about simple security, just replacing some of the locks that come with it. And I'll tell you a secret. If you didn't know, most of the little locks on the outside match another camper. Yes, I did say that. A lot of campers use the same key. That's how they can key all your locks the same. They use the same key, the key number, and the lock. So, more than likely, your neighbor has the key to your camper. And I'm still looking at buying locks for my camper to replace them. But a lot of keys are the same. If you've ever gone to some of the dealerships and they hand you a master lock key, that's because they're keyed so similar that they can use one key to open multiple brands. So it's highly recommended that you do go out and buy new lock sets. You can get multiple sets of keys that are locks that are keyed the same, but it's recommended, you replace these locks. Everybody's seen these locks. They're on a lot of RVs. Years really don't matter. I mean, I remember them when I was a kid. These same style locks are still being used today. They may have changed a little bit over the years. You're getting to a lot of the slam style types, the horizontal and the vertical. Out there now. But as you can see, I got those standard little steel one-sided keys all around my camper, and that'll probably be the next purchase I buy for my camper, is to change out the locks. One other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some locks, because this I don't think is just right. You got locks for all your personal compartments, but as you can see, this compartment does not have any locks. And this compartment is what holds two 30-gallon tanks, or 30-pound tanks. And they're not locked. And a lot of campers are that way. They're not locked. Nothing worse than firing up the stove or firing up the furnace or your water heater and you have no gas. Go outside and come to find out you're missing your tanks. There's nothing worse than that. Refill around here is roughly about $25 to refill one of those tanks. To buy a new one, you're probably looking at $50, $60. It's just not, for $10 to put a lock on it, it's not worth the chance. I mean, it's just something that, for your own security and safety, you should just do. Now, one last thing you could do if you do want a video camera system is, and you're like us where we have a permanent site, we do have Wi-Fi here. Just look into purchasing one of those little Ring doorbells. I've heard of people having very good luck at putting them on their camper door, and basically get notified when their door moves or if there's somebody trying to get in. So if you do want a video camera, that would be a definitely cheap way to do it without having to run wires and all that fun stuff that you need to do with the standard camera systems. I don't have one personally. I'm considering looking into them a little more. I don't have any experience with them, so if you do, positive or negative, please put in the comments just so I can read them and my viewers can read them. Maybe it'll help save somebody, if it is a good idea, save somebody some money, so that way things aren't, or they can find out who did break into their camper if that happens. Again, all the items I have shown in this video, I will have listed down below, with links to Amazon. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.